support?
I'll support it.
Any questions, concerns? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. Approval of minutes, which are not included here, I'm sorry. Because we keep printing them over and over again, trying to get them done.
We've all had a chance to review them. I approve.
All right, make a
Motion to approve previous meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor then, or any discussion? Excuse me. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? No, motion carries. Citizens, would you like to address the board, now that we have a board?
Yes, there. I was telling,
If you want to come up to the microphone, it'll help with the people who aren't here that we got.
thank you, city manager and board. We have a problem in our library parking lot. It seems that our neighbor, dispensary is plowing and storaging their snow into our staff parking area, and is blocking not only our staff but also our patrons from parking in there and creating a public safety issue. And I would like if you as your office could address that directly with them, and please kindly ask to stop putting their snow into our lot. It's like me taking the trash from my yard and putting into your yard. It's not very nice. So I would like to bring this to your attention, and with your leadership and your consideration, I would like you to please ask them to let's share and live cordially with respect. If you allow me, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one person who expressed interest but has not yet filled out an application. As far as we know, Bernice Mason is planning to join the board if she is able to have appointment by the mayor and the commission, and we'd be glad to have her. She wants to specifically volunteer at our Welcome Center, and she's an ideal person to be there to greet visitors to Benton Harbor and to give them a good sense of what they can find here to enjoy while they're visiting. So I'll be in touch with her by phone. I don't have her email to check in, but she was very serious about it the last time I spoke to her. I'm not aware of any other applications, but we do have several openings, and if there are people who are interested, they should stop by the clerk's office where the applications are, and you can take a look at what's required to serve on this board, and then decide whether or not you'd like to join us. Treasurer's report. Richard, you have a balance?
Yes, Linda relayed by text that the current balance is 2353.05.
Thank you. That reflects the money from our sponsor earlier for holiday lights and the sponsorship funds. That's mostly what that is. Committee reports. John, was there any activity or anything you want us to look forward to?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Next thing, Main Street's Welcome Center, Social District. We have a copy of a lease renewal that needs to be approved in order for me to be able to sign it. It seems like it makes sense from a programming standpoint to continue to operate the Welcome Center in its present location. And so I would like to ask for a motion to approve signing of the lease.
I make a motion, we extend the lease of the Welcome Center for another period, I guess, if landlord is willing, another year.
Support. All right. We have Richard Rabbers making the motion and John Pugh making the support. Oh, and sorry. I wasn't sure whose voice I was looking down. Okay, so we'll change that. It's Roger Lang support. All right. Any more discussion? Do you have any questions about? We're continuing at the same rent with the same terms. This lease expires on March 31st, and so approving it now just means that we'll just be able to continue on. So if there's no other discussion, I'll ask for a motion to approve. We got that, excuse me. I guess we'll have the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that one's done. And thank you. I'll be around to sign the lease soon. I want to skip to what is the other thing that we need action on?
Signatory.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where I put it.
It's under Treasury report.
Oh, that's right. It's back up at the top. So currently, the way our finances are managed, we have a kind of check and balance system to maintain financial control of the money that we receive. And because we want to obviously make certain that our funds are where they're supposed to be and that they're used appropriately. The funds we receive are donations, and we want to be very respectful of those gifts. As it is now, it takes 2 signatures to be able to request funds for a check. One person brings in a request, the other person reviews, both people sign, and then money can be either drawn out in a check for paying bills or can be used for whatever purposes it was donated for. So we only have 2 people currently on our bank account, and that would be Linda Allen, the treasurer, and me. But it would be much safer and more appropriate for us to have 3 people's names, allowing for 2 of the 3 to sign for the same reason of financial control. That way, if I'm not available or Linda's not available, someone else could stand in any 2 of the 3. So I'd like to propose that our secretary, Richard Rabbers, be added to the account as a signatory. Yeah. Okay. And I need support.
I'll support that.
Okay. Any more discussion? All right. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Okay. Motion carries. The order here.
You all set on
Yeah,
I do need to.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We do, under Main Streets in our Welcome Center, under that item on the agenda, I do have a note here that we're looking forward to finding a couple more volunteers to help staff the Welcome Center. And it's a very simple job, basically, to open up and greet people and give them any sort of directions if they need them, or guide them to publications that we receive from various places so that they can find the great things we have in our community to do. So we're hoping that we'll find some more of those. Also, we have coming up, without a date yet, a spring cleanup of downtown. We want some volunteers to help us with that. And previously, I believe we did it in March, didn't we? Or was it April?
We can check on the city website.
But I think we want to get it scheduled so people will be able to find it either on our Facebook page, they'll be able to find it on, hopefully on the city website with an updated date to volunteer. And look forward to getting things to look nice for our visitors and our residents.
Clerk Moore said she's going to be updating the city website in the next near period, so if we can get our date determined, then it can be added in the update.
So another thing, we have the Michigan's Sustainable Business Forum and Indiana University group that's working on flooding. They are planning for another meeting up here, but we don't have the date yet. And that's to help people, again, in areas where it might be of concern, to deal with compound flooding issues that can affect people's homes. And they're gathering data, but they're also giving people resources online and in person. They're showing them the resources that they can find to help them plan for any kind of event that might occur. The next thing, we have the design committee. Richard, would you like to give us your update?
I guess on the design committee, we could talk about the holiday lights and bringing them down. I think that the glow has really helped through some of the darkness of winter, and it continues, at least the temperature darkness continues. Traditionally, we've left those up at least through Valentine's Day, I think. And so we could talk about bringing them down after that if we agree on an approximate Valentine's Day takedown. Other darkness subjects would be city streetlights. Main Street is about as bright as it's been in a long time. Everything that has a pole and a head is now very well lit. Thank you to whoever did that. It's a big thing. There's some darkness that remains. Pawpaw Avenue, several right near the corner of Territorial and Pawpaw, all in a row are out. I think I've reported those to I&M. They're I&M lights, not city lights. It occurred to me, though, I guess a question for Mr. Little, the lights on Market Street down near the river, there's a section that are pretty obviously not I&M lights. And a few of them are out, not many, but are we responsible for those?
Yes and no. Yes, and that would pay for them. I'm not sure, we have to check and find out on the rest of it, but I have a meeting scheduled with I&M along with our engineer and public works to discuss lighting all
Thank you. When it's known, it would be helpful for,
As I understand it, it's kind of been discussed that the city has a responsibility for the main street lights, but that I&M has everything else. So if it's not private or on Main Street, I would start with I&M, regardless of what the poles look like.
oh, okay. Well, if you get clarity, everyone would like to know so that they know who to call when there's an outage and who's responsible. That kind of clarity really helps, I think, with everyone. A safety item, which I'm switching over to in my head here, starts with the roundabouts, which are the divider islands are not well marked. They're sort of hit and miss marked from casual efforts to do something where there's nothing been done. I know that you've had discussion with MDOT. Are you aware of any?
We had a recent follow-up discussion with them, and quite honestly, their answer was it's pretty much off the table for right now until we get through the winter stuff. But as soon as that's done, they intend to try to start doing something.
Are you saying any action is off the table due to the season?
That's pretty much the case, yeah.
The concern that I have is visibility. And I haven't sent you, but I intend to send you and MDOT a photo of damage that looks like a tank hit something. I would guess that it's a snow plow, probably an MDOT plow because it's on Main Street, that did significant damage to one of the divider islands and probably had some impact on whatever hit it. I think that in the season of snow and more snow, visibility is about as important as any other time. I would suggest doing something like putting a cone out where there are visibility issues.
If you will, send that picture so I can forward it to them, because I agree with you. It's especially problematic for older people who may have limited vision, like myself. I've had a couple of near misses with those things myself. You know, if you don't do it every day, they're not in the forefront of your mind, and you go rolling down the street at what seems like the normal limit, and all of a sudden this thing jumps up at you. It doesn't help very much.
There are times when, it's near whiteout conditions, and that's difficult for everyone, including anyone that's sort of got vision issues. But I'm certain that something could be done to improve, and it could save a life. We have lost people by accident-type situations, so I'll send that photo for sure. Other areas that would not be MDOT, there are many divider islands on Market Street, for one, on Riverview, another, where the snow covers the divider, and it could damage a plow or a bumper or really destroy a car. So that might be an issue to consider for somehow we've survived, but make improvement of visibility in all those type areas. Another general topic on the design theme, my focus is like functionality and impact on visitors and residents. We had a Christmas, a holiday season, and there were voluntary efforts to beautify the city, and those are much appreciated. And I think there's reward by the doers as well as the receivers of that work. I would propose some kind of over there? It's in the agenda. It's in the future, all right. Well, I'll get back to then.
I might just add, before you leave the topic of the roundabouts, believe come spring, they're going to be working on another roundabout up there at the area of Fair and Empire. And it may be that that's when they plan on also trying to do some with the others. But I agree with you, the period we're in right now is one of real concern.
It really has. The divider islands, it's been 2 years since any action, and they slowly, parts go away. So it's kind of I would call it an urgent situation, but thank you.
Next on the agenda, Mr. Little, is there anything you'd like to share with us?
Well, just that, I thought we did an outstanding job, DDA did, in terms of the Christmas lighting and so forth, and, heard nothing but wonderful things about it. It was much appreciated. I'm sorry, I forgot about it. Yeah. And I also anticipate that we'll be getting an answer from the state shortly to the request that was made for one of the placement grants to assist with the project that Avonmarsh has been working with Brownfield on. Other than that, right at present, we're sort of in a little bit of holding pattern, trying to deal with weather as much as we can. Resources are being directed that way, and some people understand that if it's snowing like mad and blowing too, your efforts are going to be somewhat limited, and there are others who have their views, but obviously climate change is impacting what's going on, and we'll just have to continue doing the best that we can with what we have to work with during this period. Other than that, and the fact that we are off to a new year and we have 2 new commissioners on the city commission that are going to require a good bit of working with to help bring them up to speed in terms of all the different issues impacting the city. Bobo Brazil is moving along fairly well. Phase 1 still has a good bit to be done, but much of it can't be until the weather improves. Same thing with the tuck pointing that we had going on here at City Hall. It's 40 degrees one day and 16 the next day, and they saw it was going to last long enough. They came and picked up the equipment to come back when they can. Phase 2 at Bobo Brazil is getting underway, and we're looking closely at everything going on there to try and keep it moving as well as we can and as rapidly as we can, but we're also going to be trying to see if we can find a way within the existing limited funding to clean up the gymnasium portion. It's going to require a good bit to do that. But beyond that, have you talked already about the zoning ordinance update? Okay, we think that we're pretty much done for present with what we wanted to do with that, and hope to get a session together shortly with the planning commission group to kind of go through it to be sure that we've accomplished all we think we've accomplished and make sure we get any additional comments. The zoning map has been updated and is GIS so that we can enter an address and have it go to the location on the map and so forth. I think it's going to be quite important for us. I'm hoping in the next month to 6 weeks to get an RFP out that is going to be designed to try and attract developers as well as individuals wanting to build new homes on the vacant lots in the city of Benton Harbor. We're going to try to identify and put together any incentives or anything that we can to help make that happen. We've had a long-standing battle going with some of our local residents who think that it's sustainable to provide them cheap, undervalued properties that they can sit on and do other things with. And we've had a moratorium on to prevent that because our goal is to increase the housing stock in this city and thereby increase our property tax revenues, increase our population, and deal with some of the real issues and problems that this city has. And we're hoping using that mechanism coupled with the new master plan, the updated zoning ordinance, we're going to be looking at reviewing and adapting, possibly just borrowing from a couple of other cities, some of their pattern homes packages where we have our code enforcement department review everything in them, approve those packages in advance, and what the requirements are going to be for the different sizes of those packages in terms of land area, and then make those packages available to builders, whether they're individuals or developers, that they can buy that package and just go and get the property and go build. But one thing that I anticipate continuing to press for is that every property that we sell be sold with some restrictions on them regarding how long before they'll start building and how long they have to complete it. And that if they don't and don't do what's agreed to, that the property can revert back to city and we go to court if necessary and take it back. We don't need more properties just sitting out here growing weeds for us to cut and people criticize us for whatever doesn't get done during the year. So that's generally about what I have to mention at the present time.
Thank you. So I do want to give a date with the Planning Commission. Tuesday, the 3rd of February, is the next Planning Commission meeting. And there will be the public hearing as a portion of that time that we have for the meeting. So people can find the meeting here in the commission chambers at 1 o'clock. So there'll be an opportunity for the public to speak, and hopefully everything can be wrapped up so we move on to our next projects. I know it's 5 minutes after 1, so I'm going to talk fast. Under Theater Committee, Richard Rabbers and I got a call from the neighbors of the theater. Someone, again, tried to break in one of the doors in the back and succeeded in loosening some plywood that was there. And thanks to Richard, that was able to be repaired, and hopefully we can move beyond the point where we've got boards over things and this next year. But it's very discouraging that people are doing that sort of thing. It sets us back. We've already talked about the MEDC grant. The grant reports that were requested have been submitted for July 15th, October 15th, 2025, and the latest one in January 15th. And so we await the state's notification about when those funds will be available to complete the work on the expansion project. We anticipate bringing our creatives community back together shortly in order to be able to talk about where the theater will go once the project is really underway, to make sure that we're addressing needs of the community in general. And our nonprofit producers who have content. The wanted to say under our holidays celebrations this year, we had a great Halloween celebration, and Richard Rabbers and a group of volunteers, including some new volunteers, worked at the Welcome Center and did crossing guard duty. And we want to thank the public library for its help with our holiday lights celebration. It's an annual project that we work on together, and we're very pleased as a community, I think, with the results. We want to thank Richard for his volunteer time. We also had help from the I&M line crews and Clement Construction, who did quite a bit of decorating on their own downtown. It does make a big difference to have the city lit up during this season. We had help with our celebration, again, from the Benton Harbor Middle School Band and Pizza Hut. So I want to thank them, and of course I&M, who is our presenting sponsor for 2025. Going on to the last couple things, or the last thing, there are a number of places to potentially write for grants. Still have not received a response from the St. Joe Benton Harbor Rotary. I think I'll be sending another message. That was one that we discussed applying to. And then Berrien Community Foundation is going to be having their grant cycle. So we hope to apply there. The money for those things, if the grants are awarded, would go towards some of the theater expenses that are not included in the donation of that we have for rehabilitating the building or the state grant. We need some help with money for promoting this project and getting the word out to develop the materials. And so we hope to use that, a grant to pay for that. And I think that's it, unless one of the other members has something.
I guess I'd just like to ask, as far as the theater is concerned, we don't have power there, correct? Okay. Okay. The only thing where I was going with that is I currently have available one of the T-Mobile boxes that I don't have in use right now, but that could be used for, monitoring as far as cameras and what have you. But, of course, that takes power to have to plug in.
I did speak with the neighbor on that as a result of the break-in, and he offered power. It would be right next door, maybe close enough location, proximity to supply Wi-Fi to the area. Or he also was willing to share his Wi-Fi, which I tried to get the signal, and it was pretty weak. I don't know if something could be done to improve his signal for our purposes, but we can look more into that.
Okay, I know there's extenders that we could use, but the only problem with that is if we put the extender over on the building, it needs power to power that. And I know right across the street, what I had looked into at one time is trying to use the visitor access of Corwell to, put, have camera on the theater. But the signal was so weak till it was give and take if it even operated.
I'll check with the neighbor again and see if he could supply a power that we could potentially use your T-Mobile unit.
Right. I mean, I'm offering that up if need be. Like I said, my T-Mobile unit that I have available, I'm paying for it monthly, so it's just sitting right now. So
That has its own hotspot, right?
yes, yes,
So basically, it's just, once you have electricity, it's ready to go.
exactly.
Great.
I'll look into that. And what would be, we'd use that to add cameras and then get coverage. That's your proposal, I think?
Yes, and just to give you an example, I use, excuse me, over at one of our locations over at Harbor Towers, there's we're not connected to the Wi-Fi. I had to put my own Wi-Fi in our office on the first floor, and we use that to monitor the stairwell on the first floor, on the west end, and it works well for us there. So, and that's my T-Mobile box down there. So I was thinking the same method could be used over at the theater.
I think it's about 150 feet, the depth of the building. We'd want to watch the front and the back, and maybe that's doable.
Yeah, that's doable, but like I said, you would still, for the extender, because I don't know what the structure, you might have some blockage as far as signal strength, so you might need to have, at a halfway point, an extender put on there, but that extender, of course, needs power.
I'll pursue with the possible loaner of power and then get with you, and maybe we could just do a test and see if it would work for us.
Absolutely,
That's
I'm
great.
more than
Perfect.
willing to help
Thank
out
you.
with that.
Thank you. The only other thing I'd like to include in this meeting is I looked at last year, our cleanup was April 12th. The 11th this year is a Saturday, and it's about a month before the Blossom Parade, so that'd be kind of good timing for a spring cleanup. And so I would propose that date.
Okay, so April 11th?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea. Thank you for looking that up. Okay. So, if there's nothing else, can we adjourn? Everyone agree? All right.